So you want to publish your own book. Had it been 10 years ago, I would not have been able to speak to you as easily as now. It would have been much tougher. Let's cut to the chase. There are three options you have to publish a book. The first one is mainstream publishing through a well-known publishing house. You will need a literary agent that's going to represent you. At the end of the day, if you've got a great book and you're well-known and they give you an advance and they pay you big bucks for it, wow, good for you, go for it. However, you're one of about so many people in the world. That is highly unlikely to happen. If you're a normal person like me, odds are that if they do take your book, you'll only get maybe between 6 and 12% of the retail selling price of that book once books are sold, and you're going to have to wait a few months because there might be returns. Also, once they publish that book and you've signed the contract, you sign away all the rights to that book. In other words, you cannot just copy a section of a paragraph and put it in an article in a magazine. You don't have the rights anymore. You sign your life away. Also, most of the publishers, if you are known, still expect you to go out and market it and sell it as well. So basically what they're doing is they're taking a bit of a gap, publishing your book, not giving you much for it, and hoping that you'll do a lot of the work so they sell some of it for you and you have no more rights. That puts me a little bit off mainstream publishing. Your second option is vanity publishers. Vanity publishers will accept your book immediately and charge you quite a hefty price to publish it, but you have to pay for the publishing costs and profit. This is how they make money. They'll applaud you, they'll love what you do, they'll charge you to design the cover, the layout, and it'll cost you an arm and a leg and you'll have your book, but you've got to go and get rid of it and sell it. They're not going to put it anywhere for you. So you're pretty much screwed. However, the third option to me is the best, most practical option, and this is called POD publishing, publishing on demand, or a synonym, self-publishing. You are going to publish on your own. Had it been 10 years ago, you would have had to mortgage your house because you would have had to needed to publish at least 20 to 30,000 copies of the book to make it viable and not too expensive. However, today with publishing on demand, you can publish 1, you can publish 2, you can publish 20, as many as you want to. You are in control, and it's so easy to do. All you need to be able to do is write the book on a Word document, lay it out nicely, save it as a PDF, give the PDF to the digital POD printer, and you'll print the book off it. That's it. And of course, you also need to design a nice cover to go with it. The easiest way to start is to go to Amazon. Amazon.com, you all know, they have a section called Create Space. That is their publishing section. You go and you open an account, costs you nothing, start a new book. It takes you through the sizes, the layout, there are templates. They'll even have a wizard to help you design a cover. You go through the whole process and you upload your PDF of the writing, the cover, and they'll tell you if it's right or not. And in that way, you publish your book for next to nothing, costs you nothing, and you're on Amazon. They even give you a free ISBN number. An ISBN number, you need to have that so that people can find your book. I'm not going to get too technical. In the ebook that you've got, all the information is in there. I want to just give you the basics so that you can get going. However, if you're a self-published author and you want your book reviewed by the press, they're going to laugh at you because they're going to say, you're self-published, you're nobody, no one wants your book, that's why you had to self-publish it, believe it or not. Here's a few interesting facts that they say that most, even mainstream published books and self-published books, don't sell more than 500 copies. In fact, every single book I've published has sold a lot more, and I've got one bestseller with quite a few 100,000 copies out. How did I do it? I'm going to share some great tricks and tips with you. But there are about 2 or 3 super tips in this section, and here's the first one. When you self-publish a book, don't put under publisher your name. Everyone will see it self-published. What you do is you create a fictitious name of a publishing company and you create a domain around that. The company that publishes my books is called Mind Power Publications. I did a search. Mind Power Publications as a domain.com was not taken. Those are the publishers of my books. Guess who they belong to? Moi, me. It is still me self-publishing, but when somebody reads it, they go, oh, it's a big company. Nice little logo I designed. No one knows it's me. So it already makes it look as if I have a publisher. Sneaky. Are you getting the drift here? It's not that difficult to do. One thing I also learned was, if you look at, and I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad man with all the New York bestsellers. All his books, cash flow, whatever, have the same color. It's the purple and the black. And I thought that's interesting. If I go into a bookshop and I see that color combination, odds are it's going to be his books or his range of books. So what I did is, every single book of mine, I go for gold and black, has the same color coding on it. So every single book, whether the design has the color in, or just the spine, wherever, has the same color. So what I've done is, all my books are gold and black. Wherever you see my books, it's gold and black. It might change it. Sometimes the name's in black, sometimes the name's in gold. The combination of how you do the colors might change, but it's always gold and black. That's it. Those are my corporate colors. People get used to those colors. They go into a bookshop, they see my book there. Make it easy for the people out there. The nice thing with publishing on demand is you can go to the printer and you can have it printed 10 copies at a time. And you can even have 100 copies at a time. No matter who you go to edit. I found this. I go to editors, I spend a lot of money, say check it. There's always a mistake that gets found a year later, 2 years later. If you've published 20,000 books, you're sitting with that mistake. The great thing with publishing on demand is, let's say someone does find a mistake, could be a capital letter that isn't where it should be, or there is EIR instead of ERE. These things happen. You get the book back. The next time you go and have it printed again, all you do on your master Word document, you just correct that, save it as a PDF again, give it in, and the second revised printing is, of course, then the corrected one. And talking about revised printing, you often find a book is in its third printing, its fourth printing. And that sounds impressive, or reads impressive. When you open the third page, you see third, fourth printing. You would assume that there were 1,000 copies printed at every run. But with POD publishing, it could have been only 10 copies. So the 40th book you have, it's the fourth time you've printed a batch of 10. That's the fourth printing. Don't do that. But in essence, that's how you could actually crook the system. No comment. Publishing on demand is a lot of fun. You have all the control. You can extract from the book what you want to, go put it in magazines where you want to. You own the copyright. You can do with it what you want. You also have more freedom to play with the layout, to use bigger letters, smaller letters. There is no standard rule that says all the writing must be so spaced, single space, times 11 font. You can do whatever you want. You can have Arial, you can have Helvetica, whatever. Just bear in mind that whatever you do, when you design and lay the book out, it must be easy to read. A really good friend of mine in Germany, Lothar Seiwert, is the president of the German Speakers Association. At one stage, I'll never forget my first book. I took up to him, and we were in the hometown in Heidelberg, and I said, what do you think of this? He hadn't even opened it, and he said to me, crap, not good. And I was like, what do you mean? How can you say that? And this man is a multi-best-selling author. He sold millions of books in many different languages. And he said, look, first of all, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look expensive, and there's just writing in it. Now, if you look at his books, if you look at the way the German publishers work, they sometimes use two colors, they use pictures, cartoons, and they really play around with the design. And the biggest lesson I got from Lothar was to do that with my book. And as soon as I started putting things in frames and maybe just giving it a light gray background and using a cartoon picture here, and just changing the look so that when you page through the book, it looks different, it looks interesting, there's spaces, there are pictures, suddenly it looks like it's easier to read and it attracts people more. That may sound simple, but it's a huge thing. Remember, in this industry, you're not really writing a novel, you're writing a how-to book. And that's what it's about. It must be simple how-to stuff to do. It must catch you, must be easy to follow. Here are 1 or 2 super tips on your books. First of all, you use the back pages, the last 4 or 5 pages, to advertise all your other products, books and DVDs, so that when somebody has the book, it's like a business card. At the back, there's a lot more books that they can then order from you. You generate new sales. And now the biggest tip, the killer. How have I managed to sell a few 100,000 copies of a book that I've sold those before the book even appeared in the bookshops? Very easy. I offered my book as a gift to clients, as a corporate gift. You arrive at a function, at a corporate function, they have bottle openers, knives, weights for the desk, all sorts of weird corporate gifts, which are impractical. And I'm like, but hang on, I'm appearing here. Why not give the people something as a memory from me, and let's give them a book as a corporate gift. I tell the client I'm going to only charge them cost plus 10. I need to make something out of it. Plus, and here is the kicker, I let the client put their logo on the cover of the book, and the CEO or the person that booked me can have a foreword in the front. Now, very few people get to write books. Author is short for authority. It's a very prestigious thing if you're an author. And if you say to somebody that's in a 9-to-5 job that's never going to get that opportunity, you can be in my book and do a foreword, and especially if they're the person that books you and they've seen you, they're going to go, damn, my name in lights, yeah, we're going to do this. And they will choose your book over any other corporate gift. It's sneaky, it's psychological, but it works. And then you say to them, okay, whether you order 500 or 1,000 or whatever, and your company logo's on the cover, it's something that the delegates will always pass on. It won't be thrown away. Plus, remember, all your marketing is at the back of the book. So they're paying you to market yourself. If I tell you how many functions I've been at where companies have taken this offer and gone for it, it's been awesome. That's how I've gotten rid of thousands and thousands of books every year, simply by offering it as an add-on. You see, I don't believe that after a function you should be standing at the back and pushing your books. That's like kind of busking your books, and that to me is not very professional. I much rather come to this agreement with the company beforehand, and you know what, end of the day, I'm still making a bit of a profit on it anyway, and they're paying me to brand myself. And lastly, the biggest thing for me with the book is I don't really have business cards anymore nowadays. I give somebody my book. That's my business card. I give them the book because it tells them about me. They get a feel of who I am. So the book costs me a few euros, costs me more than a business card, but odds are the business card's going to get torn up and thrown away. This book, odds are it's going to be passed on. It's the best way to market yourself. And if you're in control of the book, what a pleasure. A friend of mine's also made a mini book, a mini version of one of his books, that it's just got a summary of what's in the book. So if clients want something to take home, he offers this above all the other people out there and ends up getting the job because he's got this little mini book which costs a few cents, and he just gives it out to everyone. Plus it has his details in, and that's how he gets more promotion and more work. That's just a short summary, an overview of what book publishing is about. Today it is within your reach. With e-publishing and e-formats today, you go to smashword.com, they have a certain layout that they want, and they will get your book out to the Kindles, to the Barnes & Nobles, on the iStore, everywhere, and it's amazing how much money that generates. If you do put a book out on the internet, always try and add a video with it that shows your face and what you're talking about and what you're showing in that book, because that then connects with the book. People like to watch the video that will make them buy the book rather than just read writing. There are so many tips and tricks. I've got all of it in the ebook that I've added with this course. So do follow up on there, check all the sites you can go to, references, and learn a lot more about it. But I trust this has given you a very good overview and gotten you excited about publishing. And soon, I look forward to welcoming you in the ranks of published authors. Believe me, once that tick has bitten you and you've got your first book out, you want another one, another one, another one, and it's really fun. And then if you look at today with technology, the fact that you can have it in e-formats, you can bring out audio books, there's so much you can do. It is phenomenal. It is great. I trust this has given you a nice overview of what the publishing industry is all about and whet your appetite to go and write your first book. I'll see you in the next chapter, which is all about invoices and payments.